I wish I could forget I ever saw her in that suit.
You...
Consider yourself!
3 months after defeating Buddy Pine, alias Syndrome, the Parr family, alias the Incredibles, and Lucius Best, alias Frozone, battle the Underminer. The superheroes prevent the supervillain from destroying the City Hall, but are unable to stop him from robbing a bank and making his escape. The lukewarm success and wide collateral damage prompt the government to shut down the superhero relocation program, ending financial assistance for supers. Violet's classmate and love interest, Tony Ridinger, discovers her superhero identity.
Heroes are illegal, and it's not like I don't like strong. I wish I could forget I ever saw her in that suit.
You will.
Consider yourself! Now he's on the agenda!
Agent Rick Dicker accidentally erases Tony's entire knowledge of Violet, instead of just this incident. A wealthy businessman, Winston Deavor, and his sister Evelyn, who run the telecommunications company DevTech, propose secret missions to Helen, alias Elastigirl, Bob, alias Mr. Incredible, and Lucius. These are to be recorded and broadcast in a movement to regain public trust in superheroes. Winston chooses Helen for their initial missions, as she has caused the least collateral damage. Reluctant about being away from her family and having trouble with the law, she accepts after talking with Bob. Winston rehouses the Parrs in a luxury mansion. Bob struggles in his new role as a stay-at-home parent, left to deal with Violet's dejection over Tony forgetting their first date, Dash's math homework, and the chaos of baby Jack-Jack's burgeoning superpowers. He suppresses envy for Helen and, at Lucius's advice, calls on Edna Mode to babysit Jack-Jack. Meanwhile, in the city of New Urbum, Helen encounters the supervillain Screenslaver, a hacker who can perform hypnosis through any screen. After preventing him from destroying a crowded commuter train and thwarting his assassination attempt on an ambassador, she tracks his signals and infiltrates his base. Defeating him, she unmasks him only to discover a disoriented man who is bewildered at his detainment. At a party celebrating Helen's success, Winston announces a summit of world leaders to legalize supers on live television, hosted aboard his luxury hydrofoil yacht, the Ever Just, and attended by supers coming out of hiding. Helen realizes Screenslaver lured her to a decoy double, an innocent pizza delivery driver under the control of hypnotic goggles. Evelyn reveals herself to be the true Screenslaver and captures Helen, restraining Helen using her goggles and a freezing cell that negates Helen's self-stretching superpower. Evelyn blames society's overdependence on supers for the deaths of her and Winston's parents, as their father was only shot by burglars after the newly outlawed supers Pharaonic and Gazerbeam did not answer his calls for aid. Their mother died of grief. Evelyn plans to sabotage her brother's summit to ruin the reputation of all supers once more, and keep them outlawed in the hopes that the public will be safer with self-sufficient crime fighting. Evelyn lures Bob into a trap on the Everjust, goggling him, and sends a squadron of hypnotized supers to subdue Violet and Dash. Lucius arrives to protect them, but is overwhelmed and also goggled. Violet, Dash, and Jack-Jack escape in a refurbished Incredibile, the supercar once owned by Bob, and, deducing their parents' peril, stow away on the Everjust. On board, Helen, Bob, and Lucius are forced to broadcast themselves, giving villainous speeches, subduing the ship's crew, and locking its course in reverse. They close in on New Urbum at a disastrous pace. The children arrive. Jack-Jack removes the goggles on Helen, who in turn frees Bob and Lucius. They work together to release the other mind-controlled supers and maneuver the Everjust more safely into port. Evelyn makes an escape in the yacht's parasite jet, but is caught by Helen and arrested. With another disaster averted and the positive publicity surrounding this, supers around the world regain their legal, respected status, just as Winston hoped. Sometime later, Tony is picked up by Violet and her family in the Incredibile for their reinstated movie date. They spot a police chase. Violet leaves Tony at the cinema, promising a quick return before the pars enthusiastically don their old superhero masks and join the pursuit. Alright, that's Incredibles 2 recaps. If you like video like this, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe this channel.